Greetings, ghosts and goblins. Welcome to the October edition of the Minecraft Map History series. In this series, I look back on 3+ years of playing Minecraft maps from the forums, reviewing them, rating them, and putting them out there for the world to see and experience for yourselves. I look back at maps from 2011, 2012, and 2013, month by month. Started this series in April. It is now October, and I'm going to tell you about maps that stand out in my memory from these time periods. We're going to start with 2011, month of October. I reviewed 10 custom maps in that time. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is Deep Space Turtle Chase by the Voxel Box. This was a pretty groundbreaking map when it came out from a technical, visual, and audio perspective. To fully experience the map, there was an installer which would install a bunch of mods. It worked pretty seamlessly. It worked absolutely seamlessly for me. Some people had some issue, but overall it worked fairly well. This is before we had giant custom mod packs with custom launchers and all that stuff. This was back in 2011, and this map had some amazing special effects, texture packs. If I remember correctly, that would change throughout the map. It had in-game voices, and it had some really great sci-fi stuff in it. It was designed as a part 1, and I think it was actually called part 1. Still waiting to find out if part 2 will ever happen. And this map propelled some of the VoxelBox people to the forefront of the community, and it was really great visually and technically. The storyline itself was good. There's a lot of lore and a lot of backstory that I've learned from Ridge Dog that doesn't necessarily come across in the map. It's not required to like it, but it has a deep and rich lore. And it also there was a lot of learnings within the VoxelBox. They wanted to make parkour really hard in some points and really challenging, but maybe the progression of that steep of an incline, or being able to see the path that you're traversing didn't quite work out. There's a couple points where you come out into kind of an open area and not 100% clear where to go unless you explore. But then again, there's some amazing special effects, like this giant robot head that its eyes move and it talks to you, and it's just beautiful build. So Deep Space Turtle Chase, I am glad to have experienced that one. The next one I'll talk about is Enigma Island by Yiker. Enigma Island is a puzzle map. You're basically stranded on a small island with all kinds of logic puzzles with visual and optical effects to them. Again, 2011, so don't expect like amazing command block special effects. But the puzzles are very cool. If you're a puzzler, these puzzles were really great, and that's what made the map stand out to me. 2 more maps that I'm going to talk about from October 2011. The first is Paradise Decays. No, not his Star Wars maps, his YouTube project. This is the first community collaboration map that I'm aware of and that I participated in, and it had some fairly, for the time, or at least within my sphere, some fairly famous YouTubers that participated. Jesse Cox and a group that I enjoyed playing with at that time, the Minecraft crew, Dads Are Funny people, a whole bunch of other people contributed to this map. And Paradise Decay just basically said, okay, sign up, build something, and compile it into the map. 2 Girls One Minecraft participated. It's just a really cool, and what I did at the time was I took small scenes from several of my custom maps, merged them together, put sort of an overall storybook entrance to my area, and I really liked the experience, which, is partly why I did community maps, collaboration maps such as the library and the toy box later in my life. Last map from 2011 is actually a CTM map that back then, first off, I don't think CTM was as big of a genre as it is now. I certainly didn't know what CTM was. Vex was calling his maps super hostile survival maps and then converted them to CTMs. Z-Bill, who was also a member of the Lava Fall server that I played on for a while, created a map called Conquest Shoot 1 Killer Banquet. This was a fun map, and I played this not realizing that it was a CTM. I came back and played it again later once I sort of understood the genre better, but it basically is a world full of giant fruit and food and vegetable and meat creations, and you run around and you try to find sand and gravel that you come and put into this giant monument thing. You pull a lever, and it all drops, and then it forms a creation down below. So you don't know what your monument statue is until after you've pulled the lever and it all accumulates at the bottom. So it's got a really cool, unique mechanic. It's got a really fun and unique world design where you're fighting through giant cartons of milk and cookies. And I enjoyed it, Killer Banquet. So go check out those 4 maps from 2011. Or, just go play a map from the Minecraft forums and tell me about it. 2012, I only played and reviewed 2 maps in that October. I don't know why I only played 2. I think I must have just been really busy. But the one that I'm going to talk about is a map I played with my really good friend, Sean V. Martin. And it was created by someone who's become a friend of mine, Rumsey. It's called Crafting Azeroth. Now, I was a World of Warcraft player from beta until the January after Cataclysm launched. So for those of you who don't know all the different expansions, that's over 6 years of playing a MMO. And it consumed my life. I mean, kind of like Minecraft is doing now. But I loved Azeroth. I loved the World of Warcraft world. And I still do. Even though I haven't played the game in about 4 years, actually 3 years, I still listen to World of Warcraft podcasts on a weekly basis. And I still keep up with what's changing in the game. And I'm actually really looking forward to the next expansion coming out in a few months, even though I'm not going to play it. It's a good game. Crafting Azeroth, Rumsey basically took the data files for the entire, and I mean entire meaning huge, Azeroth World of Warcraft game, converted it with a custom program, he's a really good programmer, into a enormous Minecraft map that is 1-to-1 scale. So you can walk from Stormwind to Ironforge, all over Kalimdor, Outlands, Northrend, everywhere that you can go in the World of Warcraft game, you can go in Minecraft. Now, because it's a 1-to-1 scale recreation, the finer details don't always come across. So if you walk into, the Goldshire Inn, for example, the tables and chairs just look like solid blocks, and the fireplace is all kind of smushy, merged with the walls, because it basically has to analyze, a 512 by 512 set of pixels and convert that into one colored Minecraft block. However, if you're flying around and looking at the terrain and the landscape details, it's fantastic. And even, you go into Stormwind, and even though the buildings are, I guess you could say, digitized looking, you can make out everything that's there. Sean and I took a long road trip through Stranglethorn Vale, through a lot of the Eastern Kingdom's lands, and we had so much fun just being like, oh my gosh, I remember this. This is Moonbrook. This is the Angoro Arena, just pointing out all kinds of fun stuff. So crafting Azeroth is a magnificent feat of a map. Okay, 2013 October, and as you notice, I'm trying to spend a little bit more time on the maps this time and tell you a little bit more about them. There were 4 maps that I played in October of 2013, and all 3 of the maps that I'm going to talk about blew my mind for various reasons, but the fact that I feel like I just played them last week, and I can't believe they're over a year old, is astounding to me. The first one is by a retired map maker from the Minecraft community, a guy that is amazing and a wonderful person, and I wish he was still around to talk to more often, Vladimir. He made A Letter from Silent Heaven. This is a horror map based very heavily on the Silent Hill series, which I had never played, so this map was my first introduction to that genre, if you will. The mechanics, the story, the visuals are great, custom texture pack, etc. And he did something extremely well that I haven't seen in many maps, which is to make video cutscenes. So as you get to certain rooms in the map, you'll get a little text message in the chat bar, and you pop it open and you click on it. This is one of the first maps to use that Telraw, where you could actually click on a link and it will take you to the YouTube video, and you watch the NPCs talk and interact. And I was honored to have the opportunity to voice one of the characters in the map, and I had great fun doing that. But even more fun seeing it play out in his map. So check it out. My favorite part of the map completely is the shopping cart skin on minecarts. I don't know why, but it's the little things that make me really happy. I also love putting, I think it was a 6-pack of soda into a garbage chute and having it unclog some things that fall out the bottom. Really clever stuff. Next map, 2013 October. Very short map. A bit of a technical experiment, but I really think it was wrapped in a hilarious story by Jiggerbov, The Juggler's Balls. Oh, innuendo begin. Yes, The Juggler's Balls is about a juggler who continues to send you on quests to upgrade his balls that he's juggling, and I will let you experience it yourself. There's some pretty funny LPs of it out online as well, and it was a map that does require, especially at the end, a pretty beefy PC, or it can lag. But Jigarbov gives you some technical tricks to allow you to play it as smoothly as possible, and it was just a lot of fun. So go check out the Juggler's Balls, give them a little scratch if you want to. The last map that I'm going to talk about is still being played today on a weekly basis. It is by Seth Bling, and it is called The Building Game. Now, this is the kind of map that takes a very simple idea and it makes it into a multiplayer minigame with some very simple redstone and some very simple rules, but when you combine it all together, it is the sum of its parts. No, it is the multiplication of its parts, and it is really great. Yeah, I kind of, give him a little bit of a hard time in my review because, his walls are brown, which is kind of lame and boring, but the point of this map is that you are building something in a very constrained amount of space, and then your 7 or your 6 competitors don't know what you're building, and they have to guess what it is. And they write it on a piece of paper, they stick it in a little mailbox, and then the next person in the queue has to read what was on that paper, not seeing the context of what was built before, and then build what's written on that paper, and then the next person has to guess what was built. So you go through this series of building and guessing, and when you get to the end and you unveil what was built, so what the starting concept was through the 3 stages and what is finally built, you can come up with some really, really hilarious things. It's kind of like that game of Operator where you whisper a phrase in someone's ear and they whisper it in someone's ear, and by the time you get to the end, the phrase has been mangled. And in some cases, it's really funny how a build can get mangled and then come back together and be very resembling of what was initially put in there. So a lot of people still playing this map. I enjoyed it. I played it with some really good friends, and of course, links to all of these maps that I've talked about today are in the description of this video. You can watch my LPs of those, or if I did an LP, I've got links to other people's videos, and then the links to the maps are in there as well, so you can visually see what I'm talking about. I also have a link in the description to my review forum. I have now reviewed over 650 maps. I've played about 660 maps, and I've released 650 of those reviews. There's some more queued up. So if you're looking for a map, just go there, kind of scroll around. You can search by genre, you can look at the scores and play the top ones, or you can just pick a random one off my list. But it's all about custom map experiences. And if you enjoy this series, if you enjoy watching and hearing me talk about maps, consider, just think about it. In my Patreon page, you can become a patron for whatever you think my time is worth per month, and that will, encourage me to buy better recording equipment, make more videos, and just spend more time with you through this medium. So those are all of the maps that I played in the month of October. I look forward to playing more maps for you in the months to come.